kids back there? Okay, all right. Look what it says here. That boy there, he just gonna lock the door with us. And we gonna keep all the adults out there. Get the cookies, man. Get the. Yeah. Get the cookies, man. Hurry up. Grab a juice too. And Yeshua said to them, a prophet is not with honor except in his hometown and among his relatives and his own household. And he could do no mighty work there, except that he laid his hands on a few sick people. Always amongst the crowd, there's going to be a few that's going to get some crumbs. It's going to be a few that have enough faith to move the Most High. Right? It's his desire and his heart to make all of them whole. But only a few pulled from who he was. Look what it says here. Verse number 5. And he could do no mighty work there except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. Verse 6 says, and he marveled. This is what Yeshua marveled because of their unbelief. He's astonished at the Gentiles for how they believe in him. But he marveled, you're supposed to be Israel. You're supposed to be waiting for me. Right. It's amazing that in our day and time, more people are trying to lower Mashiach to a mere man, right? In this day and time, because they don't believe. Yes, sir. So you want to make him like you. You doing this, Israel. You point fingers at the Gentiles. Yeah, they probably done made up a couple of things too. But you of all people shouldn't be sounding like a Gentile. That's right. Sounding like him. That's it. He says in verse number 6, he says, he marveled because of their unbelief. And he went about among the villages teaching. He said, man, I ain't got time for y'all. That's what the Most High doing in these days and age, y'all. He come to you. He sit down at the table with you. He tried to use you. But as soon as you show that you have no belief and no interest and you don't want to do it his way, he said, okay, push back from the table. Don't worry about it. Because guess what? I know that there's somebody that will. You stuck on just knowing who you are. I know someone else want to know who I am. That's right. Come on. It's the issue. That's what he's saying. You can't be made whole just being stuck on knowing you. And you can't be used just stuck on knowing you. He can't do no miracles amongst you. Because you're stuck on you. That's it. He will not force himself to make you whole because you're stuck on you. And when you stuck on you, if he does do anything in your life, you're going to say you did it. He's not playing with you like that. That's right. Come on. He's not playing like that. You're stuck on you. That's why you worry about more things externally than internally. You stuck on you. Yeah, I got on my fringes today, y'all. On purpose. Got on my fringe. I got a couple of shirts with fringes on it. Right? But you best believe that tore on my heart. Come on my heart. I don't need these training wheels.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow.
I don't need these training wheels. I'm mature enough to ride the bike without falling off.
Come on.
Ride the bike good. Right? Ride the bike real good. Now, if that's something you need, hey, glory to the Most High. But at some point, these have to be sown on your heart.
Come on.
At some point it do.
Yes.
That's why John, when he came out, he didn't need these.
That's right.
Because it was sown on his heart.
Right.
That's why he can wear camel hair and leather. Sown upon the heart. Again, to my brothers and my sisters, if you love wearing it, fine. If it's going to keep you from stealing, wear them.
Yeah, right.
Keep you from stealing, wearing them. But I got enough fear in me of the Most High to where I am stealing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
See, my first fear is the Most High. My second fear is the police.
That backup training.
And my third fear is one of y'all snitching.
Oh man.
Let's go to Matthew chapter number 8. Matthew chapter number 8. When you have it, hey, boom. Let me read it out of the NLT, New Living Translation. Matthew chapter number 8. Verse number 9 says, I know this, because I am under the authority of my superior officers. Centurion. Right? Y'all know the story. I told y'all stop being scared, just say it. I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officer, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say, go, and they go. Or come, and they come. And if I say to my slaves, do this, they do it. Verse number 10. When Yeshua heard this, he was amazed. Now, this is a non-Israelite. Okay. Look what it says here in verse number 10. Matthew 8 and 10 says, then Yeshua heard this and was amazed. Turning to those who were following him, he said, so you had always had a crowd following.
Right.
He had a crowd of Israel. Pretty sure there was some Gentiles around there looking too. He had the Pharisees following him. So he turns to the crowd after hearing the centurion soldier declares about his authority and position and how when he gives a word, it happens. So Yeshua is amazed because the centurion is using his current living situation to explain the authority that Yeshua has. Right? So he says, Yeshua was amazed, turning to those who follow him. He said, I tell you the truth. Yeah. Can you imagine this? He's finna tell Israelites about this non-Israelite. He's finna check them.
Yes.
See, I think we need to be checked.
Yes.
We need to be checked more. You can't say that, yeah, this book about me and not get checked. When you're wrong.
That's right.
Come on.
Come on. That's it.
You can't say this book about me and not be checked when you lack faith.
Come on.
How can you be the children of Israel
You like faith.
and lack faith?
Yeah.
And with you.
Come on, talk to me now.
Come on.
This puzzles me. How can you be the children of Israel and pray religiously and not relationally? How can you be the children of Israel and keep feasts out of tradition and not keep it because of your heart
Right.
and the love that you have for the Most High.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Come on.
Yeshua checks them. I tell you the truth.
Yes.
He says he turned. So they was obviously behind him.
Yes.
He's turned, they're following him. He's talking to the Gentile face to face. Face to face.
Yes.
But the people who's supposed to be leading are behind him. Because they were so accustomed to just following him. Many people wanted to follow him for what they can get out of him and not follow him because of who he was. We do this today.
Come on.
They're following behind him. He turns to them. He says, I tell you the truth. I haven't seen faith like this in all Israel. See, he ain't talking about Abraham, but Abraham wasn't an Israelite. So you can't use Abraham
Come on. Come on.
and try to say Yeshua is telling an untruth.
Right.
Abraham is not an Israelite.
Come on.
So he said, listen, from the time of Moses, right, all the way down to now, I ain't seen this level of faith in Israel.
You won't make no guesstimations.
I ain't seen it.
Right, you ain't seen it.
Go ahead, name all your prophets you love.
Uh-oh.
As much as you throw Moses in my face, he didn't have this level of faith. What Yeshua is saying. As much as you talk about how great of a king David was,
Come on. Come on.
Israel,
Yes.
I haven't seen this kind of faith
Wow.
All of Israel.
in all of Israel. Solomon, no. You can have wisdom on when you got faith.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right.
He said, this particular soldier tells me, just say the word, and I know that I can be made whole.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm interceding for somebody else.
Right.
See, another thing is that when you know and you follow the light and you follow the one who is the life giver, you not only intercede for, you don't intercede just for yourself, you intercede for others. Your prayers shouldn't always be directed about what you can have.
That's right.
Your prayers should always be an intercession for somebody else.
Yes. Come on. Yes. Come on. Yes. Come
He
on.
says, I'm an officer,
Yes.
and the rank that I have, all I gotta do is give the word.
Yes.
My soldiers don't fight against the word that I give. Also, Yeshua is saying, I give y'all the word and y'all fight me every chance y'all get.
Everything.
Centurion says, just give the word. I have soldiers. They go and do it. I just say go, and they go. They don't question me. They don't argue with me. They just go. But look what he says. Verse number 11. And I tell you this, that many Gentiles will come from all over the world, from east and west, and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. Wait a minute, they having feasts in the kingdom?
Uh-oh.
Well, everybody want to talk about all these, you ain't no feast days, and you know, if you trying to keep a feast, then you in bondage. Well, if I'm going to be in bondage on this side, then why Yeshua having it on that side?
Come on. They missed that part. Come on. They missed that part. They read that. Come on.
He didn't say feast before the kingdom, he said feast in the kingdom. And guess what? Gentiles going to be in a part of the feast.
Right.
Not only, they ain't going to be sitting in the back.
Right.
They going to be sitting at the table with Abraham.
Yes.
At the table.
Yes.
In your seat.
So you can run all you want to.
How much can you move?
Talk about they keep over there, they keeping the feast over there. We ain't got to keep no feast. They in bondage. No, we ain't in bondage. We're not in bondage.
My goodness.
We are culturally paying homage to our Creator,
That's right.
Yes.
His Son,
That's right.
and not only that, we're doing it on this side because when we get over on that side, we're going to be used to doing it.
Yes.
In glorified bodies, sinless, having a feast.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Praise the
In
Lord.
glorified bodies.
Praise the Lord. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Now, I ain't telling you there's going to be lamb over there. Ain't going to be no mashed potatoes, corn, and all that type of stuff. No. Because the lamb that was slain from the foundation is going to be alive and well. On the throne, and the feast that we're going to be having, because we are made whole, that feast is going to be a memorial and a worship and an acknowledgement. The meal that we'll be partaking in will be from His power and the light that He radiates.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Can't even imagine that.
Woo. Thank you.
We're going to be eating righteousness. And that righteousness isn't going to just go in our mouth, it's going to flow through our being.
Hallelujah.